Art has been of great significance to me. Until I was 16 years old, I didn't draw much more than stick figures. My grades in art class used to be terrible. But around that time, there were people in my school who were amazing at graffiti. I was impressed and tried to imitate them. Pretty soon I discovered that I enjoyed drawing people. I found my style using black ink, cross-hatching to draw darker areas. This has stuck with me until today. As a kid, the most significant art I enjoyed were comics, especially those by Bill Watterson, the creator of Calvin and Hobbes, Don Rosa, who drew Scrooge McDuck a lot, as well as Art Spiegelman, who is famous for Maus, a story about the Holocaust. When I was 20 years old, something clicked in my head. Suddenly I was sure that if I don't act on the urge to create art on a more serious level, I would live an unhappy life. Back then, creative work was still a mysterious process to me. Anything connected to that world seemed impossible to reach, which in turn made me want it more than anything in the world. I knew that I was setting out on a path that can be quite difficult, since even if you graduate art school, this won't mean that you will be successful as an artist. It's all about dedication and growth, which must come from within yourself. Of course, at the time, I believed I was invincible and that anyone would recognize my talent. But I wasn't invincible. When I got accepted to art school, what I found wasn't at all what I had expected. I had imagined to sit in a classroom with my fellow students all day, carefully drawing still lifes, studying anatomy and designing beautiful illustrations. But our school, like most art schools in Germany that are funded by the government, are interdisciplinary. There was performance art, sculpting, photography, communication design, product design, media art, just about anything. I had to learn that art isn't just art. Something that is art to one person can be completely impossible to read for another. Because in the same way that every human is different, our way to express ourselves is too. It took me a while to overcome my closed-mindedness. Improving your skills was really up to yourself in these surroundings. I admit that I wasn't always on top of my game. I would get distracted easily and spent much of my time falling in love with girls and dreaming of incredible things that will one day happen to me. But I did get to know many different people who taught me things and inspired me. The time there shaped me. I left after 2.5 years without graduating. Once I set foot in the world outside of art school or university, I was now doing manual labor, working on boats all day, grinding, painting, pushing, lifting. In a town until then foreign to me, I realized how insignificant the things that I had spent my last years with were to the rest of the world. I had been arrogant to think that everyone would see me as great because I could hold a pen and paint stuff. Over a period of 2 years, I started to make some money with my art, carefully testing out how much I can take for my ability. Not an easy thing to estimate. How much is your time worth? Today I have done around 100 tattoos, sold drawings and paintings. And still I am what seems like an eternity away from what I want to be. I want to be so much better at a million things in my art. I believe this feeling will never stop. And even though it puts a great deal of pressure on myself, I know that I can handle it. The will to improve, to grow, the urge to work hard and smart keeps me going day after day. There have been countless moments where I have hated drawing, where I found no pleasure at all in practicing, and for months I could see no improvement in my work. But there hasn't been a single day where I thought about giving up. Over the years it has become a more natural process. Just like any other skill in the world, you can learn to improve the way in which you make art. And by this I don't mean only how well you know perspective, how detailed you can draw, how perfect you can freehand a circle. These things may be important depending on what kind of art you want to make, but the whole thought process behind what you are doing is significant. Why do you make art? Who do you make it for? What do you want to say? Do you even have a message? It's not just a form of fooling around. It's a job that, just like any other in the world, can be done well or badly.